Hi everyone, welcome. Thanks for coming. Before we get started, I just want to thank Rosie and Leo who put this presentation together, and it's really helpful in gathering up all the information. Rosie, I want to thank Angus O'Creel, who's our tech support. He's a sophomore in our high school. And Brad Ashley, who is hosting this meeting remotely and streaming to our district. Thank you, Brad. And welcome to everyone watching from home, and welcome to everybody here tonight. I'm really excited. This is the first BTA meeting that I have attended like this in my 10 years in school, and I thought it was appropriate in doing this type of big meeting after we've been apart for so long. And I thought our PTA members, all of you, would really appreciate coming together as a big group and getting a broad sense of our organization and what we do, and a new understanding of everything we do. We've all been apart so long. I think always people ask, like, they may have a little view, but are wondering, what does the PTA do all the time? And how is it different from other parts of our school, like the foundation? But especially now, since we've been so isolated with COVID, and I thought that this was an important time to all come together as a group. So thank you for that. And And this first slide, the opener slide, is really special to me. And Rosie picked the pictures, I think they were so perfect because it shows some of the silver linings of the past year. A picture, I hope these people don't mind, of our small socials. I know they were really well attended. And I'm so glad we got to do them and people hosted. We had a lot of people got together, had a really good time. Some teacher appreciation. In the early part of the year, we did our Toolkit time capsule that's on display in school. And I know Roy's here tonight. Thank you for coming. And he and Deborah allowed back into school. So you guys will get to go in the atrium, the new atrium, and see our COVID time capsule in there and see how kids and members of our community put stickers on there talking about their silver linings. And then we had the arts festival and some really great homecoming and sporting events this year. So I think we've had a good track record of getting each other outside, and it's really nice to feel like we can get back together and get back into the school and get that work going. So I had two goals for coming together tonight. One was to provide a PTA annual report, talk about the mission of the PTA, give a financial overview, and really just go through the structure of the PTA and our executive board and the councils and committees, and give you all a chance to meet some of our, they're all in the front row here, some of our council and committee chairs. There's about 32 people on our executive board, and this is a sampling of some of the people that head up our councils and committees. And then, can you go back? Sorry. I wanted to say one more thing. And then give you an overview of our programming. And then the second reason I came was just to get us all together, to finally come together, socialize, talk about ideas, and talk about our kids and our school and what makes our school special and what we can do for the future. Okay, so our mission, as I've talked about a little bit already, is to bring our community together with energy and enthusiasm around the work of our school and educating our children, and facilitate communication between the school and the home. And the key to our success is all of our members, all of you guys, all of our involved community. And we are made up of an executive board, and on that board there's an executive committee, which is me, the president-elect, who's Amy Krause, who's watching from home, our treasurer, Jill Devay, and our secretary, Amy Brown. And then we have on the board counseling committee chairs, our immediate past president, who's Leah Gravier, teacher liaisons from each school, our superintendent, a board of ed liaison, and a foundation representative. And we get together 6 times a year to direct the business of the PTA. So now I'll ask Jill.
It's so nice to see such a good turnout. I'm Jill Devay. I have an 8th grade son, and I've not been involved in PTA really before this. And so, giving a treasure report, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Alexa Cole, who many of you know who was the treasurer last year. And she had to transition where there was nobody kind of waiting to replace. So she's essentially been a bit of a shadow treasurer this year, answering all my questions and humoring me. But thinking ahead, we do have a treasurer elect next year, and that's in May. I think that she's not here, but she has been kind of also helping a lot this year, so that when we transition, we can do that next year. But one of the things that was an initiative when I took over after a lot of kind of groundwork that Alexis had laid last year in terms of, for example, hiring a bookkeeper, which the PTA never had before. It is a bit of an incremental expense. We pay $450 a quarter. That really alleviates a lot of the administrative burden on the treasurer function. So we're trying to make this be something that's a volunteer position, so that anyone in this room could be the treasurer. So that's been really, really helpful. And the other part of that initiative that also makes it a manageable position, selling I am, is that many of the councils, bigger councils, have treasurer positions as well. And so those treasurers this year all agreed to step up and play an even more active role than they have in the past. So for example, we all have access to QuickBooks. And so while I had never gone on QuickBooks before and by no means an expert on it, everybody has been willing to then reimburse people who make spend on their council directly, rather than pass literally every dollar that was spent tracked up to the main PTA treasurer. So that's also been a way to, for me to work more closely, get to know people. But the person who's on the council often is closer to the activity that's happening, so can do a more efficient job of reimbursing people, maybe being involved on the front end of the budgeting of different things. So that gets to, what does the treasurer do other than try to convince other treasurers to do more work? We basically reimburse every dollar that people spend on behalf of the PTA. So many of you have submitted receipts. We've now got a nice online system for that, thanks to Victoria Houston and the membership Toolkit committee. It's also stepped up to be really, really helpful. So we're trying to make it more efficient, make things electronic and not have old school forms and photocopies that need to be submitted. So we reimburse everybody. So in that, then we're responsible for banking, deposits, checks, and then going on QuickBooks, categorizing every expense that is made. And then thankfully, we have a bookkeeper who helps with some month-end reconciliation, and then of course, also liaising with the tax advisor. So that's another, maybe when we flip to the other slide, we have a couple of pie charts that were also Rosie's handiwork. And you'll see, there isn't a real administrative line item here where, just pay for last year's taxes, and it's almost $6,000 to just comply with what we have to comply with the New York State and then federally. Anyway, those are some of the changes or the ways we're trying to streamline the treasurer functions. And then as we also look at, where does the money go? One of the Jen's initiatives that we have followed through to the council is really tracking metrics around the event. So not only, what are we spending, what events are we doing, but how many people are enjoying, or not. And so that we can really be mindful and responsible and try and direct the dollars in which most people are benefiting from the money that the PTA is spending. So that's something that, we're improving on and we have in place for certain events. And we'll continue to work on that, I think, going forward. And as part of that, the PTA has for several years run a deficit. So we've been in a very fortunate position of having a really material surplus. And I think particularly, during COVID time, not as easy to raise money. People might remember the Harlem Wizards, which is a fundraiser that we have. Well, we haven't been able to have that for 3 years now. So we've run a deficit, but thankfully it hasn't been, the source of too much concern because we have a decent equity cushion at the moment. But I know one thing that Lee Krause, as president-elect, wants to look at is, okay, that's great, but obviously to be responsible and have the long-term success of the PTA in mind, we should be working towards balancing our budget. So that part of that is metrics, right? So be more mindful about how we spend money. And then also looking at, I think there's a lot of untapped areas of raising revenue, like our apparel sales sell out every single time. So you'll hear from the apparel committee, they really kind of double down on the investment that we'll make there because we're pretty confident that we'll be able to make profits with that. This obviously the parent socials. Maybe I'll go to the next page, which is I think the pie chart that shows this is like the net revenue. So we backed out the expenses of holding some of these fundraising events, but generally, and it's directionally correct, I'm sure, some of it's projected and hasn't actually happened, like Memorial Day, obviously. So you can see that generally, though, where we get our money. The membership is a big one. The memberships that you all buy on membership toolkit and first login, biggest source of revenue. And then fall socials, which routinely almost all of them sell out. So again, don't be surprised if we increase ticket prices in the coming years because, for example, that these are the ways we raise money right here. Spring socials, that's an estimate. Obviously, we haven't had those yet. Memorial Day, also we're excited that we'll be able to have a more full-scale Memorial Day celebrations that people might be used to seeing. Obviously, the last couple of years they've been curtailed. So that's an estimate in terms of what we can make there. Apparel, that number was lower at the beginning of the year, but the fall was so successful. Actually, Ashley Ching and the apparel committee came to the executive and we made the thoughtful decision to invest more money to get more inventory so that we can have more apparel sales throughout the year. Because that, as you can are other areas where PTA makes money. For example, elementary school play is a great source for funding the elementary school budget. And so you'll see when we look to the next page, which are some of the expenses. Where does the money go? How are we spending it? Elementary school budget is reasonably large, but they don't request much from the overall PTA because they have other sources of funding. Whereas, maybe the high school, where the kids are focused on different things, and there isn't the emphasis on fundraising that I know the school, has had in the past. That's more of an area where the PTA then spends more money. So this again is directionally correct. I noticed one error already with my own under committees that 28,000 is a little more like 40. But starting at the top. Don't worry, I'm starting math. That's DEI, bold, do well, new families, faculty appreciation, some other things that you all recognize that we kind of lumped in there. And then high school, as I mentioned, is one of the largest. Middle school, elementary, athletics council, and then the arts council is a new. There's always been money put aside in the budget for performing arts and the arts, but we decided to kind of highlight that as its own council. So you'll hear from people on that tonight. We didn't have a budget going into this year, but we've taken the line items from the different budgets, putting it together, and then expanding the funding for the arts that we're really excited about. So that you can see, it's actually much closer to being a balanced budget than it was at the beginning of the year. We didn't have Memorial Day in the budget, and we didn't have this increased apparel profit that we're expecting to make. So it's not dire by any means. It's quite close to balanced budget, but it is something that we focus on, that we're thinking about as we look at where the PTA dollars go. So hopefully that gives you an overview. And I think we're gonna, if people have questions, you can come and talk to me after, I think, but we're gonna keep this moving. Right? Okay. So who might turn it over to? Okay, great.
So I'm one of the two membership chairs for Tracy's going to be here. I'm not going to ask you too much for this year's point of the PTA, but if you haven't yet, here's one more quiz. You can still join this year. One new thing this year that we're proud of is we offered a gift for joining as a thank you, which is the shopping bag situation. Get yours. I brought some tonight. So I'm just here to tell you about our job really quickly. It's a two-person job. It's not a ton of work. We've done it for 2 years. So we're rolling off and looking for something new. Also, my youngest is a senior, so this is my last year in Bronxville school. Membership Toolkit is what you always go on at the start of each year and create an account. If you haven't, update your information. You have to do that every single year, and that is now on the directory. There's no more creative directory, which you'll miss, but the online directory is now in. Also, one thing we do is we upload all of our membership information to the PTA, and we have to do dues. So part of our job is just behind the scenes Excel spreadsheet stuff. Not very difficult, a little bit time. There's now the sales forms, which Jill talked about. That Victoria took over that job and did an amazing job. Throughout the year, whenever there's an event and you want to buy a ticket, do the sales form through. We raised a lot of money this year, a lot more than last year. Of course, during COVID, it was harder to get people to join, but we even had about 10,000 more in membership income this year than we did 2 years ago. So that was good.
Hi, everybody. The last time I was in front of a crowd like this holding a microphone and it involved karaoke. Later. So I'm the elementary school chair, Alana Level. I have kids in 7th, 4th, and 2nd. And I was telling someone earlier tonight, I wasn't entirely sure what to expect from this, but it's been like a joyful experience. Mostly, the best parts were getting to know parents outside of my friendship circle, like real friendships were formed, and also just getting to work with the administration in this way and our new principal, Mr. Ricora, who's here tonight. main job. It all comes down to communication. It's creating a bridge of clear communication between the parent community and the administration and teachers, and also doing everything we can to enhance the school days of our kids. This year, I saw parent volunteers really step up in wonderful, creative ways, despite ongoing COVID restrictions. A group of parents decided, that's what you're seeing here, that the kids were missing out on some of the joy that used to come from special experiences and traditions that had to be put aside during COVID. So they named it themselves, they called it the Happiness Committee, and they got to work on coming up with ideas for pure fun during the school day. The photo you see captured a surprise celebration of the first day of spring at drop-off. That's just one example of lots of ways that our parents have wowed me with their creativity and generosity. I see Amy Howard in the audience. She was on the lecture committee. And I think a silver lining of COVID was they realized that there were all of these amazing authors who were home and were willing to zoom in. So there were just parents thinking outside of the box all the time. So my takeaway from this year will be how many parents are willing to share their talents for the good of the school. You just need to ask them or say yes when they come to you with a great idea. As far as I can tell, if the PTA is transparent and accessible, then it's a healthy PTA. As I mentioned, Mr. Mercora, our new principal, was such a force of positive energy all year in our school. We're grateful to him, and we feel proud of helping parents get to know him with all socials and council meetings. So thank you. Chair coming in, Tara Hansen, and I know that she'll be focused on. She's familiar with karaoke too. And I think that the focus will be building up our community more in person, just with as many more in-person events that we can do. Community building. Thank you so much.
Similar themes in the middle school, just trying to have some fun. Middle school can be a little bit of a bumpy road, but it's all good. We're learning about our kids as learners, as social beings, as athletes and artists and everything in between. So it's a really interesting time. It's a really fun time to be part of the administration, part of the parents, being sort of in communication with both sides and understanding and growing with the school and the community. So two major jobs, which are being the liaison between the administration and the parents. And that kind of comes out in the council meetings. We have conversations in our exec meetings. We talk to other parents. What are they interested in? They want to hear more about the math curriculum. Well, Mark Kecky put on a great presentation about our curriculum and clear up any confusion, and that was wonderful. And so it's things like that, just sort of being nimble and addressing things as they come up, and communication is always key. And then secondly, but not second, kind of like tied for first, is having fun and infusing it into middle school. So we've had teen centers for the first time in a while, and we had our spring fling, which went really well. Kids danced from 7:01. These are middle schoolers, 8th graders. Like typically they're on one side and another, and everyone's sort of standing around, not them. They were like shot out of a cannon, dancing the whole time. Didn't want to leave. Like that was probably the hardest part of the night, getting out. So successful. That went really well. And then we're gonna have field trips and overnights. And so we're just so happy to be back and in person and having fun again. And we're just real psyched. I think the first half of the year, Deirdre Dahani is my vice chair. She's been taking over for me. The beginning of the year was kind of quiet. We're like, this is kind of a really easy job. And then it got a little busier, but not to be scared away. It's all good fun. So that's the middle school, and I'll turn this over to Emily.
Emily, and I am filling in for Keith Weiser tonight. I'm actually not in this role till next year, so sorry, you just look at me. main difference as a council member is that it's less about the parents actively involved in the school. It's about the kids coming to their faculty liaisons and their parents and asking for things, and then we try to help them and assist them in making it happen. So it's really fun to see the kids kind of come into their own. One of Tom Wilson's favorite quotes that I think he got from Joyce Pistola is that in middle school, there's no such thing as a middle schooler, either elementary school students or high school students. So by the time they get to high school, it's really fun to see them get to make their own choices and find their different interest groups. The club is another thing that sets high school apart. Twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays, they have an extended lunch that's an hour and a half. And the kids are supposed to go to, they don't have to, but they can choose to go to club meetings that include student faculty legislature, the governing body, social interest awareness club, Habitat Humanity is another big one. So there's tons of things that happen in high school to foster the interest in kids. There's so much going on, it's really hard to keep track of it. So I have to do a little digging myself tonight. You guys have probably seen a bunch of emails and requests over the last couple of days for donations. Donations for prom attire, donations for medical supplies, donations for a goodwill drive. There's a lot going on. So, just kind of, I have synthesized it into a page. So if anybody has questions, come find me afterwards. I can answer that and make a reaction.
Hi, I'm Ashley Manman, and I'm representing the chairs for the new club called the Arts Council. So just like there's an athletic council, there's now a Bronxville Arts Council. So give up jazz hands for that. I just want to talk about my also talk mom, and I am president of so give up. So I'm excited to be speaking about this new committee. The Arts Council chairs are Justine McInerney, Linda Burnett, and Bridget Rockwood. And the Arts Council was recently established in the fall of 2021 by the BTA to help support and advocate for new and existing arts initiatives, both in the school curriculum as well as after school. This includes fine arts, performing arts, and we also hope to offer some new classes and workshops in the fall, such as an architecture class, as well as a cabaret style workshop led by Broadway professionals. We're excited about those new initiatives. Just last Thursday, we were thrilled to support the Bronxville Arts Society Club, which is the high school club, in their open mic night. And it was a great success. We kicked off our Spring into the Arts, which is we walked downtown. You might have seen all the artwork for the elementary, middle, and high school kids in the different stores. So that was our scavenger hunt. And next year we plan to have a reception as well to celebrate that at the end of that. That's it. And a special thank you to Courtney Allen and the Bronxville School Art Department for that effort. The next act I'm talking about is the performing arts, and we have 3 exciting performances this spring: elementary, middle, and high school. The high school is doing Legally Blonde, and the performance dates are June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. The middle school just announced they're going to be doing Grease Junior, and it's open to all 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And their performances will be June 11th and 12th. The elementary school is doing The Descendants with performances on May 14th and 15th. Back to the middle school, there will be an interest meeting and a Google form going out in the next couple of days for all middle school parents and children on Wednesday, April 20th at 6 p.m. for parents and kids who want to find out what the Grease Junior musical will be like. You know, that's going to be fun. So I hope you get your middle school child. And also, if you don't want to be on stage for Grease Junior, you can be backstage, behind the scenes, assistant director, set. So there's lots of opportunities to get involved. And last piece is that we are really excited that we're starting a new initiative called the Bronxville Arts Festival. And our hope is that's going to be the week of May 16th, where we're going to have a Meet the Masters, which is a public art installation and music and performances. More to come on that soon. And then please feel free to reach out to us. Anybody who is passionate about the performing arts or the fine arts, we'd love you to share your time and talent with us. So just reach out. Thanks. I'm going to pass it on to Sarah Kenny.
are heavy, and I have to thank them so much for all the service they've done over the years with this council. Also, Liz Doyle is our spirit chair and our full Carol chair. I'm going to start with this picture. I think everyone has seen it on Facebook. This is taken by Emily's son, Walker Liggett. This is the first day that masks after 2 years were not mandatory. And this is what we do at the athletic council. We bring our players together, our community together, our students together, my son. But it just goes to show you how much of the need that we need to come together. And that's what athletics provides for our students, our community, and our kids. So it's comprised of all high school volunteers representing athletes from all different sports. So anybody can join hang out in high school. And we are most proud of this year of homecoming returning. And parents and kids, it was still not okay to have parties. Homecoming happened. It to find lights to come down to the field took forever. It was really expensive, and thank you to the school for funding that for us. But our community came out. Everyone was packed. The stands were packed, and all of our teams, our fall teams, had a night under the lights, so our community could come out and support our athletes. We've also, if you haven't been in the meeting yet, or if you haven't seen it, or soon the basketball games we're going, our branding is finalized. We got the stores and we found out all the great accomplishments all of our teams have done past and present, and all of the banners we have hanging throughout the gym. If you see the B on the field, if you see the B on the bounce back on the wall, that's all stuff, the branding that the athletic council has to enhance the school spirit. And we just started last year for all of our seniors. There's a banner for every single senior, every single sport. They note that they're captains, and we hang them up at Case Field, we hang them up at Scout Field, the baseball players. They're in the gyms, and then at the end of every season, there are sports awards, and these seniors get the banners to take with them. So it's something that we are proud of. Normally, we have the Harlem Wizards every year, which is a sold-out event that kids, particularly in elementary school, come and love to enjoy. For the past 2 years, we haven't had that. We'll bring it back next year, so we can all celebrate with these basketball players. And then stuff we do during the year that you guys don't see is there's B-Day, where the kids are told to do something B. So they'll all come in, all the high school kids will come in as baseball players, or farming, or whatever creative Bronxville, whatever B that they come up with, they'll do. The athletes will then switch uniforms on a different day. The football players switch with the tennis players. So we do try to add to fun has become a huge emphasis with COVID and the pressures of school. So we do try to bring some fun with this committee. And for the community, we've got food truck night, games under the lights. May 7th, there's going to be one love across there. We have food trucks out Saturday, which is a beautiful day, but we're going to have all of our youth lacrosse games out there in the morning, followed by the staging varsity lacrosse games in the afternoon. Lovely part of it, food trucks for the kids. So we hope you all come out and support us. And right now we're working on homecoming for next fall. We just got the dates, there's the lights. So we are here to help celebrate our athletes and our community.
Hi, my name is Carolyn Matson, and I'm here to speak about BAS. I think most of you all probably know what BAS is, but if you're new to the school, BAS is the Bronxville After School Program, and it is run from 3 to 4 in the afternoon after school. It's run all year long, and thankfully, Matt Fisher has left the program, and he did such an excellent job with it, and it's grown it tremendously over the past few years. I came to school in 2017, and I know just since then it has really, really taken off. So many more classes are offered for both the middle school and the elementary. Those are the two schools that we provide programming for. Now Anthony Vaglica and Carol Del Judas are taking over, and they're doing an amazing job. We also have an ES representative, which is Heather Scholes. Myself, I help with the middle school, and then we have 2 treasurers who are Dean Vanderwalker and John Beer. So we We just provide after-school programming for the students within the elementary and middle schools. We are most proud of the growth that has really taken off within the last several years. I can't thank Beth Fisher enough for really putting a ton of time and effort into this program, and including the faculty as well as outside vendors, and just bringing in a wealth of variety for the students to participate in after-school experiences. Anthony and Carol are working closely together to really take it to the next level, so we're excited to see where that goes. If people leave early, there is a registration that opens tonight at 9 o'clock for the 3rd through the 8th grade. So it's luckily this year we've added more classes, and Anthony and Carol are really taking a lot of feedback. So instead of having it all registration all on one night, they've separated it into 2 nights. So honestly, if you all have any suggestions, please let them know. They are interested in parent feedback. I know it's stressful for some parents with younger kids to get into classes. They've opened those classes to larger numbers. So I know the high schoolers and some parents don't need to hear all this, but anyway, for those in the elementary school, these are prime spots. So if people leave, it opens at 9 o'clock tonight. Anthony sent out an email saying we switched it from 8 to 9. If anybody has any questions about the after-school program, I'm happy to answer them, although I think most of the faces here are very familiar, so you know all this. It is bronxvilleafterschool.org, and I think that's it.
And I'm here tonight to talk a little bit about the Be Well Committee. I have been part of Be Well for about 4 years, and I have to say I am so proud of the way the committee has grown and what we've accomplished in the last year, especially. So Be Well serves our K-12 community to inform and educate parents about what their children are experiencing in terms of social development, mental health, and alcohol or drug use. That was essentially why we got started. And what I love about what we've been able to do is we're able to take what our kids are learning in school, through their guidance department, through Dr. Stolik in the elementary school, and we've actually been able to bring it to our parents so that we can reinforce at home what our children are learning in school. This year, I am very proud of what we've been able to do for all of us. What we've been able to accomplish in terms of our online discussion. We did some last year, and we just had one the other night. We had Susan Divino talk to us a little bit about dialectical behavioral therapy and how to basically work with managing our kids in the home. If you didn't get to watch it live, it's being recorded and send it out to you and help with it. We're also really happy about introducing a teen mental health resource. We're just getting started with that. There'll be more to share in the next couple of weeks. And we're very excited this year. We're going to be doing another all-school book read. This year is going to be The War for Kindness. And the author is Jamil Zaki. And there's some copies here if anybody needs one. But we'll be sending out details about what we're going to be focused on in the book, and hopefully. So we always send out feedback after we have our chance about what we're interested in after we do our events. But if you'd like to come up to me and talk about anything you'd like us to cover, we're happy.
Hi everyone, my name is Maria, part of the show, and I'm the commissioner of both around here and both the Bronx. So we are here to support our families, have children
So, please do reach out to us. But we've had a really good few years. If anyone, Dr. Hallowell is an expert on ADHD. And even if your child hasn't been diagnosed with ADHD or there's different brains that work differently, he is just such an inspiration. We had him last year, and thanks to Leah getting him, we had him back this year, and we were so thrilled to get help from the PTA to fund all that. He's recording VidCon. If you go on the PTA website under Bold, you will see his meeting from this year. We also have some bold conversations, and we had a very young parent, Alexandra Regavi. She came to speak about anxious, parenting an anxious child. We have that recording there also. And we had a great college transition where we had former Bronxville students who are now in college, and their time helped us put together. Wonderful. So if you have a child, did you record that? Yeah, you have that. We have it up there too. But it is so great to watch with your child, and even for you, there is light at the end of the tunnel. There's lots of options out there, and Erin just did a fabulous job reaching out to those students who are now in college and having great success. So it's just so wonderful. We also have some social at Bold. We had a first Bold social actually here in November, I believe, October, November. And we have one at Bold, and we'll be having another one at Bold. So please do join us at Bold, and we would love to see you. And if you have any questions, find us on the PTA website, reach out. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any ideas, we feel that we should be focusing on your work. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Leah Granier, and I'm here with Teresa Brady, my co-chair for the BTA committee. I do just want to tell you a little bit about great things we've been doing this year. We're really proud of our family programs that we put on this year. We celebrated Diwali, we celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month, we celebrated the Year of the Tiger, and we also did a great film screening at the Bronxville Library of Black Forest Jungle with CBTA. They were all really well attended events, and really gave us a sense of community to be able to celebrate all these different holidays, and it's the difference we have in our community, to be able to share that with each other. And I'm going to hand it over to Teresa to tell you about our upcoming event.
Thrilled to announce that April 29th, mark your calendars, we will be having the inaugural international night. We are partnering with the High School Club for this event. This is going to be creative and enthusiastic. And thanks to very generous and enthusiastic parents in this community, we have 30 countries represented now. The sign-up fee is to host a table tomorrow. It does not have to be a country that you want to work there, live there. So please sign up if you're interested. On the evening, we envision children with a passport, and each table has a stamp. So after they visit each table, they will get a stamp saying country. And thanks to the magic of our committee members working on that, the performance will be by the Ukrainian chorus of York. On the City Center, Hall, and they have
Hi, my name is Carly Cobb. I have 3 boys in the school, a junior, a freshman, and a senior. I've been on this wonderful committee for 5 years, chaired it for 3. We went interested at all, enjoying it, always want volunteers. It's a great kind of one-off. There's a lot of energy put in the school Saturday, meeting all these wonderful families that join the school. So basically, we're here to welcome all new families and help make their transition to Bronxville schools smooth. That's from elementary school, middle school, and high school. I'm most proud of being able to continue this through COVID, which is difficult, and creative ideas and help continue welcoming new families and everyone who's kind of shut in. It was difficult. This year, I'm most proud of being able to have a high school family buddy up with new families, or old families, not really old, experienced families that are sharing up with new families. Right? That was more, not necessarily but for the parents. High school especially, kids kind of go off and they do their own thing. Oftentimes, high school parents are kind of like, what's going on? I think it's really great that we're able to do this. And I think we're just really excited to continue helping the families and continue to create a kind of really strong bond. Continue to really start new families. Anytime. I was a class teacher and I have a second grader Dakota, and then 3 little ones in nursery school, so these are Broncos. I'm here to represent the apparel committee, and I really appreciate here representing Mariana Mago and Sarah Polman, who are driving the apparel committee. I am the treasurer. We deliver school spirit and lots of revenue. So as you saw in Jill's slide, we deliver about 52,000. Yeah. 52,000 in profits. Like this year, our sales should deliver about 140,000 sales. And that is up 88% versus last year, and nearly double pre-pandemic school year. So it's tremendous. And as Jill mentioned, we recently increased our budget. So Mariana and Sarah are very busy new categories to bring to you. This is the upcoming World Day sale. We are also very proud of our incredible vendors that we have that help us deliver these amazing products, and also our team, which is a lot of your volunteers that come out and help split the sales. So thank you to everyone who does that, and we look forward to welcoming you parent volunteers this year. So our next sale is in May. It starts on May 24th, Tuesday. It's our Memorial Day sale. It will last through Saturday. And we've got some really great new members joining the team next year. We've got some new chairs. Kara Kieran, Courtney Murphy, Ashley Murphy, and Jen Seeger will be the new chairs. And I will continue on this project. So please do reach out if you have any questions. Last but not least. Hi, my name is Lucille Bornia. I have 2 sons in the elementary school, 2nd grade and 4th grade. And I'm really excited to be co-chairing Memorial Day this year with my wonderful co-chair. Hello, my name is Karina, and we're very excited to this year be the new chairs of the original Memorial Day event that is, we're happy to say, it's coming back this year. It is an event that brings the community together. It's an event that's joyful and fun, and it's a week-long event. So there's a lot to do, lots of work, and we are not doing this all by ourselves. There is a whole team of people behind us. There are subcommittees, there's some faces here that are helping us out. So thank you so much to all of you that are helping. Just a heads up, there will be some sign-up geniuses coming out soon, so be on the lookout for that, because we'll need volunteers throughout the week for the different events that we're organizing. So we are starting on Friday, May 20th with the spring social, and we're ending on Friday, May 27th, which is the Friday before Memorial Day. So we will not be doing anything on Memorial Day weekend, which means that you guys are free to go and travel and do your thing with your family. So there is time to volunteer before Memorial Day. So as I said, we will be asking for help. So please, if you have the time, be on the
have also, as the council treasurer, Kristen Woolery, I'm not sure if she's here. Did I know? Okay. That's pretty much it. We'll be around if you have any questions to ask.
My name is Rosie Modio. I have one daughter in school. She's in sixth grade, and I've been helping out the last 2 years on sort of communication, figuring out what are the best ways to communicate with the parents, make sure you have enough information, it's transparent, you know who to talk to when you need something. So what we've really done is focus on 2 things. One is the Instagram. It's really just sort of like the highlights, what's happening in all the different parts of the school. And then the website has become more of like a repository. So for every family, like Carly and I work together, all that family information is have. The news, you go there, you click this every 2 weeks. So it's really sort of a place to go. You just don't know where the form is or what the information is or who to email. So that is it. Those are 2 ways for communication. And I'm really hoping that someone in this audience is really excited about communication. So I'd love to help out every year. It's actually an awesome job because you get to work with all of these wonderful people. You're dealing with a lot of the administration, so many different families. And I personally really enjoyed it. I think it's kind of so feel free to talk to me after, and I'll put you on the job. And I don't say the other Amy Brown on Instagram, and I don't think she's here tonight with you. Oh, there she is. I know you. You want to come up and sort of tell them how you do it? It's like now. All of a sudden, you get pictures of everything that's going on at all times. You don't know how, and if you don't follow them,
Hi. I am amazed to see all the activities we're doing. I don't know if you guys are as well, but when I have these 6 times a year meetings, I can't believe all the things that our volunteers are accomplishing. And I'm just so proud of the school and the kids and everything we're doing. So thank you to my excellent executive board and all our volunteers. I'm most proud of how we've come together over this year, and despite the challenges of COVID, we've really been able to pivot and be creative and still have so many wonderful things going on. And I'm really excited about spring. We've heard a lot about it. We've got some great athletic events, and I did get a message that our athletic team wants to thank Joe Beacon and Anthony Zagusa for all their work they're doing with our athletic team and for us, the athletes of the school. We've got our arts festival, international night. I don't know if they mentioned that premium chorus was on Saturday Night Live. And now they're coming to Bronxville. It's amazing. Then Memorial Day, speakers, a book club, musicals, prom, graduation, moving up ceremonies. I'm going to get teary-eyed. So I'm just really excited for the spring. I'm excited for our 100th anniversary, which is going to be celebrated throughout the year, but mostly homecoming weekend, which is September 24th. Thank you, Joy. So September 24th, homecoming weekend. Mark your calendars. Besides having a great homecoming, we'll be celebrating the 100th anniversary. We chose that weekend because that's when a lot of alumni come back to town. So I think it's going to be great. And yeah, I just can't wait to see what this Army of Volunteers can do. And I want to just thank everyone here for being members of the BTA and for your contribution, big or small, and encourage you to come on and